Nothing captures the imagination and attention of sports fans like greatness. Caitlin Clark is one of the most decorated college basketball players of all time. 2-time Player of the Year, 3-time scoring leader, 3-time assist leader, 3-time All-American, NCAA all-time leading scorer, with a quick trigger three that reminds of Steph Curry. But all that didn't make Caitlin Clark the phenomenon she is today. For that, she needed Angel Reese, because the only thing that captures the imagination of sports fans more than greatness is greatness denied.
While America was held prisoner in Caitlin Clark's moment, Angel Reese was busy winning. Angel split her career between the University of Maryland and LSU, and in 5 games against Clark, Reese was 4-1. And in 2023, she set the NCAA record for most double-doubles while en route to beating Clark in the NCAA championship game and winning the most outstanding player award in dominating fashion. Reese finished her career with 3 All-American selections, 4 Conference All-Defense selections, and an SEC Player of the Year award as a senior. Reese and Clark played only twice after Reese transferred to LSU, but they played for the highest stakes and with the whole world watching. Their legacies will be forever linked, like Magic and Bird, Federer and Nadal, and Ali and Frazier before them. Clark and Reese have a chance to take women's professional basketball to heights previously unseen, but can they live up to the expectations fans and media have created for them?
The answer, of course, is no. It's a great story. The straight, white, small-town girl taking on the brass, trash-talking black girl from Baltimore. But it's just a story, and missing quite a few key players as well. Boston, Cardoso, and Johnson from South Carolina. Reese, Flage, and Van Lith from LSU. Beckers from UConn, and a whole host of younger players poised to maintain and capitalize off the sport's momentum. Clark was certainly the most popular player in college basketball, but her popularity wasn't due exclusively to her skills and doesn't peak quite as high without the rest of the women across the basketball map. Great players need great competition, and Clark's first found hers in the form of Dawn Staley's dream-crushing machine from Charleston. The Gamecocks were 36-1 and the presumptive national champions heading into their matchup with the Hawkeyes. Clark's 41 and an underwhelming performance from defensive powerhouse and future #1 overall pick Aaliyah Boston led to one of the biggest upsets in recent memory and the first big spike in women's college basketball ratings.
The next round, the 2023 championship game, poured gasoline on the fire as ratings more than doubled from 2022 title game. The reason? The media found a somewhat willing villain in LSU forward Angel Reese, an immensely talented player who talked almost as much trash as Clark herself. LSU handed Iowa a 17-point beating, and Reese's "you can't see me" gesture handed the media a Caitlin Clark victim narrative that perfectly set the stage for 2024's revenge tour. Iowa hit the ground running the following year. They won 18 of the first 20 games on their way to winning the Big Ten tournament and earning a #1 seed in March Madness. The 2023-24 season also saw Clark break the all-time NCAA basketball scoring record for men and women. She cemented her place in history with a 35-point performance against future teammate Celeste Taylor and the Ohio State Buckeyes. 2 weeks later, Selection Sunday gave fans exactly what they had been waiting for: a chance for Clark's redemption, or for Reese to prove definitively that there was no rival. Iowa and LSU, who finished the season 31-6 and a 3rd seed, both landed in Regional 2 on a collision course for the Elite 8. Reese and Clark did not disappoint in their tournament rematch, nor did their teammates, living up to the hype and then some. Clark's 41 points and 12 assists proved too much for the Tigers to overcome after an injury left Reese mostly ineffective on offense, and after a nail-biter versus Paige Beckers and UConn, Iowa was back in the championship game 4 quarters away from their first ever title.
Unfortunately for the Hawkeye faithful, the revenge tour had one more stop. Waiting at the Fieldhouse in Cleveland was 36-0 juggernaut South Carolina, now led by Camila Cardoso, the 6'7" center from Brazil. The Gamecocks put the clamps on Clark after her 18-point first quarter and ground out a 12-point victory in front of nearly 20 million viewers to finish their undefeated season and right the wrong from the previous year's Final Four. Cardoso's 15 points, 17 rebounds, and 3 blocks capped off an impressive tournament and helped make her most outstanding player. Clark finished her career with impressive wins over Reese and Cardoso, but losses to both when the ring was on the line. Their impending move to the WNBA offers a chance to finish her story and become the face of women's sports in America. The Indiana Fever haven't made the playoffs since 2016. Since then, they've been collecting the NCAA's top talent, including last year's #1 pick and Rookie of the Year Aaliyah Boston, the #2 pick in 2022 Nalissa Smith from Baylor, and the former record holder for most three-pointers in an NCAA career, Kelsey Mitchell, whose record was broken by none other than this year's #1 pick and newest member of the Fever, Caitlin Clark. Their hope is that Clark's range and elite passing ability will unlock their offense and see their long-awaited return to the postseason.
Cardoso or Reese would have done more to help the Fever's league-worst defense, but they both landed in Chicago with the Sky. Among the best rebounders and defenders in the country, the exciting duo are likely to help establish the Sky as a defensive force. But even with the return of Diamond DeShields, the offense looks to be a work in progress, with 2 of the 3 leading scorers from a year ago landing elsewhere in the offseason. While it's clear both these teams have a bright future ahead of them, and fans should expect plenty more battles between Clark and the tandem of Reese and Cardoso, neither of these teams appear ready to take on the likes of the Aces and Liberty in year 1. Expecting them to is borderline disrespectful to the multitude of stars who have been carrying and growing this league over the last few decades. A'ja Wilson is the best player on the planet, and her running mate Plum, Young, and Gray aren't too far behind. If not the Aces, the youngsters would still have to contend with Brianna Stewart, Ionescu, Lainey Hamilton, and Jonquel Jones of the Liberty.
Clark, Reese, and company's time is not now, but it's coming. And hopefully the attention they bring will lead the WNBA into a new, prosperous era for everyone.